Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. And in this video, as I said earlier, we are going to do a revision of everything we did, and we're going to see how we use functions. So in this video, I'm going to make a program which is a calculator, and it will do addition, multiplication or subtraction of any two numbers which the user wants. So what I've done over here is, let me just quickly explain you the code. I don't need the result variable now. So what I've done here is, I have taken a choice variable and I have taken a char x variable of character, which I have set to y by default, which means yes. So then I have printed to user that welcome to our calculator, and I have took a while loop that, hey, tilde x is equal to y, you run. Then I have printed a user a menu and asked for his choice. Why I have used a while loop over here is that so that the user don't need to execute our program again and again. He can just press y or n and the program will follows. So if he presses y again in the end, it will ask him for the input again, and if he presses no, the program will end or exit. So that's what I have done over here with the while loop. So then I have printed the user menu in the while loop, and then I've taken input a choice. So what does he want to do? He will input the number 1, 2, 3 over here. Then I have used a switch case statement. You can use else if over here, if else statements over here like this. Say if choice equal to 1, do this. You can write else if choice equal to 2, do this. And then you can check else if choice equal to 3, do this. Else do this. So you can, instead of switch case statements, you can use if else if statements as well. And you can see I have written this, so add followed by parentheses makes this a function. So I have used three functions: add function, multiplication function, and subtraction function, which I've called them add, mult, and subt. I have neither declared nor defined them yet, because I wanted to show you how we use the functions. And as usual, our syntax, we use break after every case. And that's pretty much it for our switch case statements. So then I have asked the user that, do you want to continue? And here's the trick. So if I run this program right now, it will work fine. But if I don't do this, so what happens in the while loop? When the while loop runs first time, it for some reasons skips the input of getting a character. So why does it does that is because it inserts some blank character, usually some blank character after printf or new line character. The scanf does that. So we first call the getChar function, which means get character, which is again an input. In fact, I can use getChar function instead of scanf by this. I can just use x equal to getChar over here, but we are going to stick with scanf. So what do we do is we get that blank character which is inserted because of something in while loop, and that consumes it, and then the scanf will take the input properly. So it's just to take the input properly. We have used that getChar. If you're using an integer instead of a character over here, you don't need to add this getChar. You can just scanf person the integer. So now what it is, our menu and program is ready. So I'm going to show you that quickly. I'm just going to compile it. And I'm gonna, let's control Q to resume. Oh, okay, sorry. I pressed Control plus S on the terminal, so I'm gonna just compile it. Okay, it said that these functions are not declared. So I'm just gonna add these functions to comment right now just to show you that it's working. I'm gonna save it. I hope it works now. Compile it, and I'm gonna run it. So now it says that please select an option. So I select 2. So then the case 2 will run. It will do anything over here, and after that it will break. And now it asks me, do you want to continue? I press Y. So then it asks me again a choice. I press 2, and this time I say I don't want to continue. So N. And as you can see, the program now exited because now the X became N. So N is not equal to Y. So hence this while loop exited and the program just terminated itself. So we are pretty much done here. And now what we need to do is we need to resolve these cases. We need to add if it's 1. We need to multiply if it's 2. We need to subtract if it's 3. So first let's focus on the add function. So here's how it goes. I'm not gonna return anything. I'm just gonna name my function add, and I'm gonna have no parameters. Similarly, I'm gonna make my mult function. You can have them as parameters. If you have them as parameters, after this, after taking the choice, you will have to take 2 inputs. Say you take the inputs in number 1 variable and number 2 variable, and then you will have to pass them as number 1 and number 2. Then you have to add them, and then you can print them. If we have time, I will show you that too. So let me just remove these. So I'm gonna give my mult, and I'm not gonna have any return type with my subt. So now I'm quickly gonna define one function, and then I'm gonna quickly copy paste them. So this is my main, and we define functions outside main. So let's start with the add function. And what we are going to do here is we are going to take 2 inputs from user in integer inputs. So we're gonna print quickly, and we're gonna say enter the numbers. So that's all we're going to say, because I'm trying to save time. And we're going to take 2 inputs now. Integer inputs, and we want that integer to go into our X variable, and we do the same thing for Y. And then we print to user that result is an integer which is going to be X plus Y. And that's all for this function. And then we're going to copy it. We're going to paste it 2 times. And now instead of add, we are going to write his subt over here, because now we will define subt function, and we are going to print minus. And now we are going to define the multiplication function, which is named mult, and instead of plus here we are going to do multiplication. So now our functions is ready. I'm gonna just save it. I'm going to compile it and run it. So now say I want to add first. So I enter 1, I enter 2 and 3. So it says 2 result is 5, and then it says you want to continue. So what I'm gonna do here is, since it's not inserting me a new line, I'm gonna insert a new line over here. So what it's going to do is it's going to do enter first and then print this. So now I'm gonna save it and compile it first and then run it. Okay, I enter addition, enter 2 numbers 2 and 3. So it says the result is 5. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do. I enter 2 for multiplication. Now I write 2 and 2. 2 stars 2 is 4, correct. You want to continue? Yes. Now I go for subtraction, and I say 10 minus 2. Result is 8. Do you want to continue? No, I've done my work. and it exits the program. So this is how it will work if you don't have any parameters. So now let's say if you have parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these numbers after this, after my choice. I'm going to take the input in X and Y, and not X because X is a character type, so I'm going to take numbers T and Y, and in top I'm going to declare those variables T and Y. And since I have taken my inputs already, I don't need to take my inputs again, so I'm going to remove these from every function because I don't need to take input again. That was my air conditioner. Okay, now I have taken this T and Y, and I want this T and Y to pass to this function so that they get added. So I'm gonna have my parameters int, same for the rest of the functions, int, same for the rest functions, int. Okay, now I have my parameters set up. Oh, I don't need that for main function, sorry, but I do need them for the add function, so I'm gonna cut that and copy it in the add function instead of main. Okay, now I'll pass these values T and Y, T and Y, T and Y. Now in each function I need something to receive these values, so I'm gonna receive those values in int X and int Y. You can have them in any variable name right here, int X, int Y, int X, int Y. Let's save it, compile it, run it. I'm gonna go for multiplication. I'm going to input 4 and 4, and it says result is 16. So it works fine, and if you want to try it, you can try it for other functions as well. It will work fine. Now let's just quickly go to the return type. I want all of these functions to return an integer, to return an integer, to return an integer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to return the result from each function. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to declare a variable called result, which is equal to X plus Y, and I'm going to declare a variable result over here, and result is equal to X minus Y, and I'm going to declare a variable result over here, which is equal to X star Y. So I've pretty much said I'm going to remove this print statement over here, and now I'm going to return that result. Return result. I'm just gonna copy paste it, copy it and paste it, copy it and paste it. So now all these functions return the result. So now I need something over here to receive the value what the function returns, sorry. So I'm gonna receive that value in another variable called result, which is available in this block, and this result variable is available only in this block. So these variables don't clash. And I'm gonna take result equal to result equal to, I replace that, so we're gonna write mult over here, and again result equal to that. So now I have my result, and now I need to print it. So I'm gonna print it right here. Printf result is %d. Replace that %d by result. So let's save it, compile it. Okay, I missed something. Return results. What is it? Warning, return with a value in function returning void. So I did something. Oh, okay, I had made this mistake. I had to change return type here too. So let's just do that quickly. Okay, now the error is correct, so save it, compile it. It's successfully compiled now, and I'm gonna run it. So let's just go for addition first. 2 plus 2 is 4. Continue. Go for subtraction. 2 minus 2 is 0. Continue. Go for multiplication. 2 star 1000 is 100. 1000 is 2000. There you go. Now I don't want to continue, so the program exits. So this is pretty much the combination of everything which we have learned so far. Here's the functions, here's the while loop, here's the switch case, or you can replace it by if else as you feel like it, and here's the function definition. This here calls these functions, and the calling of the function simply means that this statement is just copy pasted over here. So it executes first and then anything below them. So this is pretty much it. I'm just gonna quickly scroll down through the code, so if you want you can just pause the video anywhere and see that. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.